I was going to use this Raspberry Pi to do some stuff with sending and receiving text messages, and possibly compiling that into votes output on the video. But yesterday morning, the bus that powers the USB ports and the Ethernet port fried out, so all it can do is boot up. So I went back to actually doing other work. That was my project. Next time I'll try something different.
So, my name's Albert. I am not a developer, but for this hackathon project, I did want to do something to at least teach me a little bit about developing for web, as well as to do something that might actually prove useful for the organization. And so, what Luba was so kind to help me with was the Name Me project. And so, a lot of the times we speak to a lot of people. Every day, they always want to know what capabilities we offer. The keyword is such a sexy tool to use. You get to text in, you get to capture that information, but it's not really able to do much more than that. You can have people prompt with auto replies, but everyone wants to get more information captured automatically from the keyword. And so for Name Me, we're building this program out as a way to capture more data from a keyword opt-in. And so, the answer to the question that we normally get is, can I capture name information? Well, the answer is yes. But, as you can see, it falls into 3 different processes. So you have the single incoming message approach, where you're going to tell someone to text keyword space their name to 313131. All of that information is going to be added to your account in your inbox, where you can then view that information and manually associate it with each individual contact detail. Of course, you can also export, sort it in Excel, and then upload it back to update all that information. The other side of that approach would be the multiple incoming messages approach, where you can have the keyword auto response actually prompt the user to reply back with their additional information. So it makes it a little bit easier for the actual contact opting in. They don't have to do a complicated process of a 2-word keyword submission. It's just a simple text 1 word, all right, prompt, reply to that prompt with the information requested, and then the user of the account actually has to manually or do the Excel work to upload that. Now, the third approach is something that I've come up with to sort of allow for a more automated process. So it would involve the user creating a dummy account on Easy Texting, where they wouldn't have anything but a widget created. And so they create the widget, they take the link, and they insert it in the auto reply for their keyword in their primary account. And when they do send that out, the person can click the link, and because it's not associated with the same account, they're able to opt into the dummy account with all of their information via the widget. Then the user would have to take that information, download it from the dummy account, upload it into the primary account, and all the opt-ins would be added because their phone numbers would be in the primary account due to the keyword opt-in. Well, what's the problem with these approach? It's not that easy. And, as Easy Texting, we're here to make our lives, our clients' lives easier, where it's an easy program.
And sexier.
And sexier. Well, the sexy is something that we can't really help with text messaging, but we'll try. So, we decided let's do it better. So what we decided was to have contact text the keyword to 313131. That it's going to be captured, the phone number is captured in the account, but it's passed via API where an auto reply is sent back asking them to reply back with more information. So the user replies with that information, it should be captured and stored, and then an auto reply sent back to the user confirming that we captured their name. So let's try it out. Everyone get out their phones, text Name Me to 313131. I'll continue as you guys are doing that. It's just a very simple process. Text, follow the prompts, and you'll get the auto responses.
That auto corrects with a space.
You're right. All right, so a little bit about the project and the hackathon. As I said before, I'm not a developer, so Luba was very, very helpful in helping me to develop the script, 2 scripts actually, and I'll get into that a little bit more. But the main one was a PHP script to receive the incoming messages via API. The message was captured, the processed and sorted into the local database that we created, and then also the auto replies were output based upon actually the status. So it wasn't a static auto reply, it was a variable auto reply based upon the information that we already had from that contact, if they were already opted in, if we needed their name, or if they were submitting their name. And so, the future potential is to move to non-free hosting. We're going to get rid of the appendage at the bottom of that text message, which makes it a little bit ugly than I like it to be. Also, I want to use the add contact API so that we can actually take the information from the local database on the hosting to the actual easy texting account to provide a little bit more value there. Also, we can expand that to allow more response functionality, more messaging outgoing, confirmations of every submission, so that if you're having like a survey or if you're capturing a lot of information, you can make sure that every information is accurate by sending a confirmation message each time. Also, to expand the data capture and storage functionality to include emails, date of birth, pretty much any information that we'd want to gather, that any of our clients would want to gather. It'd be great if we built out the functionality for them to actually be able to customize what they wanted to gather and then store that information somehow. So, again, about process, per Luba, she wanted me to get back into the fact this is my first scripting and coding experience in like a real life situation. So I mean, it was very fun for me, and I owe a lot of appreciation to Luba for the patience and the help that she gave me. We use free hosting just to minimize costs, and we didn't want to use the architecture of easy texting because it's sort of against the ideal behind the hackathon. So I built a live database, and then I wrote 2 scripts, one to access the database and process and store the information. The other one was to receive the text messages and process those and send the auto replies. One great thing that I learned from this hackathon project was the frustrations of debugging. How annoying it can be when you think you have everything right and you can't find out what the hell is wrong, and you spend more time than it took to code to actually find out where the issue is. Also, Luba was very helpful in giving me some processes and ideas and thoughts on helpful ways in which we can locate the problem more easily. So that was very, very informative there. So that's about it. That's the project. Any questions?
Well, so are you gonna continue this
I'm gonna.
next hackathon?
If not before then, sir.
So next hackathon, we're gonna see it with the contact API and everything like that.
Yes, sir.
We can publish it if that happens,
I'd be happy.
and we could solve that problem for a lot of people who
A lot
call
of
in
people,
and
exactly.
ask for this functionality.
Yes, it's that easy.
Yeah.
Huh?
The next, I have an idea for the
Yeah.
next iteration after this, is making the script either spit back a text to you, prompting you for your name or your date of birth or something, or spit back a link to you, which will have a web form, which then once the web form is filled out, it'll use the contact API to update your contact.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be just like the widget, though, right?
Yes, but it's your own widget.
It's your
and
own
that
widget.
way it uses the contact API and
Okay.
it can actually update the contact.
Okay. Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So you
I see what you're saying. I'm gonna give some pushback there. It makes a lot of sense, but then you get into the situation where someone has to have a smartphone. And I was actually just talking to somebody today. It's valuable. I love the form idea, and we can do that with Google and the scripting that Google has. I know a way that we can take the form data, get it captured. Of course, why would we use Google if I know how to build a database? But the problem is that someone would have to click on that link and then enter the information manually. The beauty of keeping it as a text-based platform is that it creates such simplicity, where it's just question and response, question and response.
Right.
And it's valuable for us because even though, it's more expensive for the client to have that opt-in, the information they're able to gather from that single opt-in via text message is far superior to just the phone number.
No, you could give them the option to
to either choose the link. Okay.
choose either. Do you want to send the link with a form, or do you want to keep asking questions?
Okay. Totally.
Because I understand it's simpler, but it's more error prone.
You're right.
Because someone might not,
Autocorrect and
someone might not reply in the right format, right?
that's why you're sending that loop back with thank you. You entered Shane for your name, is this correct?
Oh, so that's how it's working?
That's how I want it to work in the future. Right now it doesn't work like that. Right now at the end after you submit your name, it just sends a message, thank you.
So
name.
what happens if you
Just trying to
don't?
rack up outgoing messaging charges.
That's
No,
great.
I'm not trying to rack up.
Wait,
It's providing a value though. It's providing a lot more information that's accurate information that can be used for
No,
other
this is what you
purposes.
should do. What should actually happen is that instead of after each entry confirming their entry, at the last step of the entry, send them all their information
Gotcha.
back and then say, is that correct?
You're right, that makes a lot more sense and it would piss off a lot less people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much for the input.
Yeah. Good job.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank Luba.
Love
She
it.
was instrumental. I couldn't have done it.
Actually, Albert developed everything by himself, so I was just helping.